I need your help figuring out Aprilaire Dehumidifier problems.
The E1 error means it is getting errors from the temperature sensor and internal room humidity sensor. Whether it is due to a wire short, or only partial contact with the control board, or sensor problem is not clear.
How do I clear up the confusion?
Turn it off, pull the user interface assembly away and look at the control board's connections.
Assuming I do not break them in the process.
If the wire connections are normal for all 3 wires that meet the sensor board, you probably need to replace the RH sensor board.
Does turning it off and turning it back on solve the error code?
It's something you can try, but their units are not so smart, they usually need to rebooted. And for errors like E2 for high refrigeration pressure, the discharge line is too hot, which restarting rarely helps except to turn it off long enough to cool off.
It's a dehumidifier. It should be cold, and some units have problems icing up.
It does have motors and electrical components, all of which can short and overheat. In the case of the E2 error, it turns off to cool off on its own, though it'll air out after 5 restarts of the compressor.
I would not even give an overheating component 3 chances.
The problem may be caused by a lack of airflow through the dehumidifier, like clogged filters or an air intake that tries to work despite the backflow damper being closed.
Then it needs to be off until the airflow issue is resolved.
You can get that error due to an air intake from a very hot attic. In that case, it'll run normally when the attic isn't as hot as a Texas summer.
What is E3?
For some of the units, E3 means the dehumidifier can't communicate with the remote control. The solution is usually going to the setup menu and selecting remote enabled.
I saw an E4 error on the unit.
E4 means the suction line temperature has not dropped as much as it should if the compressor was running properly. This can happen if it was moved into a really hot room, if the compressor is not running, or if the refrigeration system isn't working.
Which means just about anything could cause it.
You can turn it off, let it reach room temp, then turn it on to see if the air goes away, which eliminates the first cause. If the coil does not cool after being on for a while, you know it is probably a refrigerant loss.
And the solution in that case is a new dehumidifier, since it costs as much as a new dehumidifier to ship it back to get the leak replaced and refrigerant recharged.